All right, I think we should get started here. Hello and welcome to this UberCloud webinar titled Democratization of Simulation with ANSYS Discovery Live and Cloud Computing. My name is Thomas Francis. I run product management for UberCloud. And what we do is we help engineering organizations use cloud computing to excel in their engineering. This webinar is part of a longer series that we've been doing since the beginning of the year. And we've done webinars on cloud best practices, how to run ANSYS simulations in the cloud. We did a webinar specifically about how IT teams within engineering organizations can benefit from cloud computing. The goal with these webinars is really to increase the body of knowledge of how to run these sophisticated computer-aided engineering applications in the cloud, and how to run high-performance computing in the cloud, because that's a fairly niche area. All of these webinars are recorded and they're available on our website. You can also find case studies, guides, etc. that you can use. Today's topic is about the democratization of simulation, and this is a topic that's been talked about for a while now. Software companies have been innovating on ways to make simulation more usable by the average engineer. So you'll see capabilities such as simulation apps, which are essentially scaled down versions of the more traditional heavy solvers. And of course, cloud computing is really helping this trend by making all of these capabilities easy to access and also easy to try out. And today we'll talk about one tool in particular, and that is ANSYS Discovery Live. A reminder that if you have any questions during the talk, please do type them into the chat window, and we'll try to answer those as we go. And with that, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today, Ebru Tilak, who will talk about ADL, ANSYS Discovery Live, and how cloud computing is making simulations available to a broader engineering community. Ebru is an engineer and an analyst with experience in computer-aided engineering. She's worked at companies such as Dassault Systems, and she's also an entrepreneur. Ebru's education includes a bachelor's in aerospace engineering and a master's in computer systems. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ebru.
Thank you, Thomas, and thank you everyone for joining us today. So as Thomas mentioned in this webinar, I would like to talk about how ANSYS Discovery Live and cloud computing, when combined together, democratize simulation, or in other words, enable simulation for everyone. Today, any designer and engineer working in product design and development can run simple simulations and do design exploration. And there will be significant financial and competitive benefits for companies when they give more people access to simulation. So you may ask yourselves, why would this be beneficial? Aren't there CAE engineers within my organization responsible for running simulations? In the traditional product development process, there is a lot of back and forth between CAE and computer-aided design. Designers are dependent on simulation engineers to move forward with their designs. On the other hand, simulations being slow, CAE experts being outnumbered by designers in many organizations, and having to validate each design for many different scenarios, it usually takes a long time to get results back to designers. So the whole process is very slow to start with. As an example, back in the day, I used to work as a simulation engineer at a leading automotive supplier in Germany. And at that time, we were only 3 analysts. But there were more than 20 designers working on new concepts nonstop. And now imagine our workload. These guys were dependent on us to move forward with their designs. But unfortunately, even working overtime, it could sometimes take weeks to deliver back results to them. And this is the reality for many companies. Analysts are always outnumbered by designers. Coming back to this process, as you're all well aware, if something fails after prototyping during testing, which is a very expensive phase, going back and repeating the whole process will only add up to the costs. And product time to market and development costs will increase as changes to design are introduced later in the product development process. So by introducing simulation early in the design process, you can speed up product time to market by starting with a mature design validated for simple test cases, save costs by shortening time to manufacturing, introducing less design changes, and also by reducing the number of simulations required to be run by analysts. And then through design exploration, you can create more innovative designs and become more competitive. So rather than going with what you know would work, you can actually try out new ideas. So wouldn't it be great to let designers do preliminary simulations and let CAE engineers work on the more complex scenarios? So far, they have been barriers. Obviously, with many commercial CAE software, simulation expertise is required to get accurate simulation results. Then, specialized hardware, such as CPUs, GPUs, are needed to perform the simulations, which can be very expensive. And IT resources have to be available for hardware, software, purchasing, licensing, configurations, and so on. And all of these can easily lead to very high costs. So look at this picture. Don't try this at work. Not the best way to overcome barriers, but there is a good way. ANSYS Discovery Live and cloud computing. This combo will help you overcome the barriers to democratization of simulation and let you give access to simulation to every engineer and designer within your organization. Because no simulation expertise is needed to run ANSYS Discovery Live, necessary steps to run a simulation such as geometry cleanup, meshing, solving, post-processing will all be handled by Discovery Live, and you'll be able to set up your simulation within minutes through a simple interface. And then with cloud computing, there's no need to purchase expensive hardware. So you'll only pay for what you use. And there's also no need for IT resources. Your cloud provider will take care of everything. You'll get access to the hardware with the software pre-installed and ready to run. And of course, all of these will translate into cost savings. And not just from the implementation and execution perspective, but also there'll be cost savings because by starting with a more mature concept, product development process will be much shorter. So with ANSYS Discovery Live, simulation is really made available to everyone. I've been playing with it the past week, and I can say that it is really easy to use. And actually, within a few minutes, I'm going to show you a slide about 14-year-old kids designing aircraft, and you'll see for yourselves. And also, I would like to point out that not only designers or CAE engineers, but any engineer who has access to CAD models can use Discovery Live to simulate design behavior. For example, if you're a project engineer, even you can open the CAD model and launch a simulation through your desktop and try out your idea without needing to depend on others. Having said that, simulation for designers through CAD integrated simulation applications has actually been around for many years now. It is nothing new. What makes Discovery Live truly innovative and different is its real-time design exploration capability. So with Discovery Live, you can perform structural, internal fluid flow, external aerodynamics, thermal, and modal analysis of your design, and get accurate and instant simulation results that closely match the results generated through ANSYS's more advanced simulation products. And Discovery Live uses the power of NVIDIA GPUs to give you access to simultaneous visualization and simulation results as you introduce changes to the geometry and physics. So in order to use Discovery Live, you must have the specific required NVIDIA GPUs, or you won't be able to run the software. But don't worry if you don't have any. You can easily get access to the latest GPUs through a cloud provider, such as UberCloud. And if you're not familiar with the concept, simulation in the cloud provides a cost-efficient, fast alternative to running simulations on your workstation or on-site clusters. Through a cloud provider, you can get access to the latest best-in-class hardware without large investments, and you can pay for what you use and how much you use. UberCloud can give you instant access to a computer environment in the cloud with Discovery Live pre-installed and ready to run, and also equipped with the latest NVIDIA GPUs. So this way, you can focus on your design and not spend your time and resources dealing with things like hardware, software purchase, setup, licensing, installation, or configuration. Once you're signed up, all you would need to do would be to log into your cloud environment from a web browser and run your simulations. So which also means you don't have to be present at the office anymore. You can actually work on your design exploration from the comfort of your home. And this is also how I recorded the demo I'm going to show you within the next minutes. And last but not least, UberCloud can also provide you with support for break-fix services when something fails, can take care of software maintenance. There can be multiple ANSYS releases a year, and we can make sure you work with the latest version or your desired version of the software. And also we can provide you with training on how to work efficiently within the cloud environment. And here's the recent use case I just mentioned. This is a great example proving Discovery Live in the cloud truly enables simulation for everyone. 14-year-old high school students in Norway without simulation expertise used Discovery Live and UberCloud to successfully design and develop flyboats, that's what they called them, for their research and practice course. And when the kid's science teacher first thought of using Discovery Live for this project, he thought getting the software installed and have it ready to run on the school laptops would take too long, and it would probably be too late in the project. But then UberCloud heard about this and provided them with a solution to run the software in the cloud. And with UberCloud and ANSYS's sponsorships and the guidance of Hakon, an engineer working for the ANSYS reseller in the Nordics, the kids were able to access Discovery Live at school from their school laptops' web browsers. And on top of that, they were able to continue from home after hours by logging in through their web browsers on their home computers. So for this project, students divided into small groups ran Discovery Live on Azure through UberCloud, and each group came up with a final design, which was also done 3D printed. In the pictures, you can see they're showcasing their 3D printed prototypes of their designs. And it looks like they're enjoying this a lot. So if you found this use case interesting, and if you would like to learn more about the technical details, a blog post with more in-depth coverage will be published in the ANSYS blog, I believe sometime this week. And if you want, send us an email and we can let you know when it's available to read. So now, before I move on to the demo, first of all, let's talk a bit about how it all works. Once you sign up for Discovery Live through UberCloud, you'll receive an email with your login information and instructions. And then all you need is an internet connection and a web browser. So once you're logged in to your cloud environment through your browser, this is what you'll see. It is no different than a typical desktop. You can see here Discovery Live is installed along with some other software, and all are ready to use. And I also have a Discovery Live open on my screen. And don't worry about things like how to transfer your files or get your results back to your local desktop. Anything that might affect your workflow, we got you covered for all of that. As an example, you'll even have easy to use tools such as a Dropbox installed on your cloud desktop. And now let's move to the demo, to the fun part. So I recorded this demo for this webinar, and I must add that I'm also new to Discovery Live, and thanks to its intuitive interface, I was able to start using it right away. And it should be very straightforward for anyone already familiar with design tools. So my purpose with this demo here is really to show you two things. First of all, how you can do real-time design exploration powered by NVIDIA GPUs, because this is something new and groundbreaking. And then I would like you to witness the cloud experience. So this video is as is, recorded in real time. There are no edits. And you will see how easy I can manipulate the 3D model without any lag and explore 4 different what-if scenarios, all happening in under 2 minutes. That being said, if the resolution you're getting on your end is not that great, don't forget you're viewing this through a webinar software, and there might be some loss in quality. But if you're interested, let me know, and I would be happy to send you the link to the original video later. So watch my clock here, and on the right bottom corner of my screen. So this is the clock on my cloud compute desktop, and currently it's showing 7:17 p.m. So Discovery Live gives you options to create a new model and a physics simulation from scratch, or use physics templates to create solutions for your existing models. And then there are some sample models with predefined physics. And this is what I'm going to use today. So in this example, we want to find out what happens when we apply a force of 200 newtons to one end of the stainless steel bracket. And you can see here the resulting deformation. And now let's see what would happen if I choose a lighter material, aluminum, instead of stainless steel. And results are already available. In real time, I can see that I get almost 3 times more deformation. And animations are great. And don't forget, I'm connected to the cloud compute environment through a web browser. So this is all happening in the cloud while I'm weaving and editing from my local desktop. And now I'm going to make some geometrical changes, make this bracket much thicker, 4.8 millimeters. And results are again updated. And this time I can see there's far less deformation. And finally, I'm going to change the direction of the loading. So instead of applying the force along the x-axis, I will apply it along the z-axis. And again, you'll see new results are available immediately. So now let's look at the time here. And you see it's 7:18 p.m. So you witnessed all the design and loading changes in under 2 minutes. We reviewed simulation results for 4 different scenarios. First one being the base model with stainless steel material. And then second one, I tried out using a different material, aluminum, for the bracket. And third, I changed the thickness of the bracket to 4.8 millimeters, making it thicker. And finally, for the fourth scenario, I changed the loading direction. So all in under 2 minutes. And there was no waiting for simulation results. Results were available as soon as I introduced the changes. So as you saw, UberCloud makes a seamless, provides a seamless cloud experience. So if you would like to start using Discovery Live, let us know. And we can provide you with instant access to the cloud with a personal computer environment equipped with the required GPUs and Discovery Live installed and ready to run. So all you need on your end is a web browser and an internet connection, and we'll provide you with the login information. And if you would like to get access for a limited time to start with, to see how it fits within your product design and development process, we have some specials going on right now. Contact us and we can provide you with different options we have available. So for this and also for any questions you might have, or if you would like to learn more, send us an email at help@theubercloud.com. And someone from our team will be happy to get back to you. So now, as time allows, we'll be taking some questions, and I will hand it to Thomas.
All right, great. Thanks, Ebru. So there's a question here about licensing. How does licensing for all of this work? That's a great question. So the best way to get an answer to that for the ANSYS Discovery Live part is you can work directly with ANSYS or your reseller, or if you'd like, you can contact us and we'll work with ANSYS on your behalf or along with you. As Ebru mentioned, we're a advanced solution partner. So that means it's a technical partnership. We're not an ANSYS reseller, so we don't really sell licenses, but we can help you. We can help you find the right person for that. Let's see. Is this a replacement for ANSYS solvers? Yeah. So this is a common question that comes up, and the answer is no. I think it should have been obvious from the demo, where this is a quick and dirty tool which really gives you a lot of great information in a very, very short amount of time. And but it is not a replacement for say Fluent or Mechanical Enterprise or CFX. This is a way to get more accurate models over to the analysts and have that available. Okay, what is the shortest time I can rent ADL? Is a long-term commitment required? Yes, this is another good question. As far as ADL is concerned, on the licensing part, that's something that I think ANSYS is doing a lot of work on and trying to figure out how best customers can use it. For questions of this nature, it's probably best to have a one-on-one conversation with our sales team, where we can identify the right need and then work very closely with ANSYS to answer this. But in the short term, if you would like to try this out, as Ebru said, we have some specials going on the cloud side, where you can actually get access to this environment in a very short time and try it out for to see how it works. Okay. Other questions.